We can watch Suzuka since Suzuka was in the same. I figured Suzuka is. I thought Suzuka was just the competitor to Special Week. Again, I didn't watch the anime, but she's a 3-star. She's a 3-star. I thought the main competition was Suzuka versus Special Week. I didn't know Grass Wonder was so important. So I have Suzuka next. The dominating legacy of silent Suzuka.
A common theme in Uma-musume is inspiration of past generations. In previous videos, we've covered the inspiration of Tokai Teo by Simbali Rudolph, a nod to real-life events and a source of motivation for Teo to try her absolute best. In doing
Teo's
so,
so cute.
Teo would inspire the main characters of Season 3, Kitasan Black and Satono Diamond.
Wait. I didn't. They're the like Kohai. They're the Kohai. What year did Kita-san and Satono come from? They're Season 3? Yeah, they're later on.
Though their stories will be saved for future videos to come, today I wanted to focus on a Season 1 fan favorite from the anime, one who inspired Special Week and became her closest friend. Once more, just like all Umas, this story is based on real-life events.
You know what I really love? We have like Silent Suzuka's the best friend. Not Grass Wonder though. God, Special Week hated Grass Wonder.
This is the story of Silent Suzuka, the runaway from another dimension who
Kita Dyer
dominated the
from
race
2016.
course.
Oh.
Silent Suzuka was born on May 1st, 1994, in the town of Biratori, Hokkaido. Just like our previous video with Tokai Teo,
1 year before.
Silent Suzuka was a stallion with a legacy continued on from his sire. Suzuka's sire was Sunday Silence, an American racehorse who retired with a total of 10 races, with the lowest placement being second out of all of them. Interestingly, despite being a horse from the United States, Sunday Silence would find himself venturing to Japan. Several factors played a role in Sunday Silence's transfer to Japanese soil. At the time, Sunday Silence was named Horse of the Year in 1989 after winning the Kentucky Derby. Due to the dominating record of Sunday's career, it caught the attention of Zenga Yoshida, a prominent Japanese breeder who had already invested in Sunday Silence. Arthur Hancock III, the owner of the farm Sunday Silence was born on, was struggling with financial difficulties at the time.
I'm so sorry. I mean no disrespect, but his name is so stereotypically American. Like, can we roll that back? If I had to make up Mr. America, I would probably use a name like his. What was it, Hancock?
His breeder who had already invested in Sunday Silence. Arthur Hancock III,
Arthur Hancock III. Oh my god, how more like American can you get?
The owner of the farm Sunday Silence was born on, was struggling with financial difficulties at the time. Due to this, and lack of interest from American breeders, Yoshida would claim ownership of Sunday Silence, taking him back to Japan.
Okay, I just want to say, this horse, he has such stylish bangs. This horse is handsome, okay? If this horse was the male, like, I could understand why she's such a popular father. What a pretty horse. What a handsome horse he is.
Yoshida would claim ownership of Sunday Silence, taking him back to Japan. This wasn't to race Sunday, but instead to make him a breeding stud for future race horses. Low interest was also present in America due to an injury Sunday sustained following his retirement. Ironically, the same decorated horse who has met with skepticism from American breeders would lead to be one of the most successful sires for the future of Japanese horse racing.
Yeah, Americans didn't value him.
Silent Suzuka would debut on February 1st, 1997 in Kyoto. Suzuka would take first place in this race, catching the eye of spectators with his debut. This wasn't a normal victory that people would see from a maiden race, but instead a complete blowout. Silent Suzuka would win this 1600-meter race by 7 whole lengths. A dominating performance of speed on a turf-based race course.
What was her skill? The view from the lead or something? You see that old scene happening right there. Yeah. Silent Suzuka was a very accomplished American horse. Oh, Sunday Silence. Yeah. Won the first 2 races of US Triple Crown. Only the first 2, not the third? I thought, well, I mean, he won the Derby. He ran the Kentucky Derby. That's like the most popular, no?
Even from an early age, Suzuka showed promise on turf-based tracks. This race would make Silent Suzuka a fan favorite. However, unlike his maiden debut, the remainder of the year wouldn't be so impactful. Over the following races that Suzuka would participate in, ranging from March 2nd, 1997 to December 14th, 1997, we'd see Suzuka experience highs and lows of his racing career. Suzuka would only win 2 of the 8 following races, with the lowest placement being 15 at the Mile Championships in Kyoto.
Oh,
this,
Suzuka can't run miles?
enough, is all too common for Japanese racehorses. As I've stated in previous videos, the odds of a horse winning a race at all is already slim to begin with. Most horses don't even reach 10 total races in their career, let alone persevere past that point.
They don't even run 10 times?
Suzuka's 1997 race history has a multitude of factors that led to losing the race. In the Yayoi show, Suzuka's second race, held on March 2nd, 1997, Suzuka would go under the gate before the race started, shaking the jockey and resulting in a low placement.
No!
After a sequence of 2 wins following the Yayoi show, Suzuka's new aim would be the Tokyo Yushun, or...
They should put that in the career. Do they put that in the career? Slacker. What? She had a gold ship moment? What the heck? What?
or the Japanese Derby. Unfortunately, Suzuka would once more fall short of victory, placing 9th overall. At Suzuka's following race, the Kobe Shimbunhai, he showed promise, hanging towards the front until the home stretch. This seeming victory would be thwarted by Matikane Fukukitaru, who would overtake Suzuka in the final spurt.
Matikane Fukukitaru! No, absolutely. Oh my god, getting shown up by the lower rarity horses here. And it's okay. She what is her ability? She's 777. her way up there. Huh?
In the 2 races that followed, Suzuka would change jockeys from Hiroyuki Uemura, who'd been with Suzuka since his debut, to Hiroshi Kawachi. Hiroyuki would express his grievance with Suzuka failing to cooperate with his instructions. Over the course of multiple races, Suzuka would not respond well to his jockey's commands. This change will result in 2 more low placements for Suzuka. Just like with Hiroyuki, Kawachi also faced similar issues when trying to work with Suzuka as well. Silent Suzuka would prove to be difficult to work with for yet another jockey, resulting in another set of low placements in future races. These being the Autumn Tenno Show and the Mile Championships held in 1997.
It's like similar to Golshi actually, huh? She's more of a rebel than I thought. I guess she's just kind of, it's represented in her being kind of a kudere that's like in her own world. She's like very focused on just running, but then she doesn't notice other people.
In addition to the jockey's difficulty to cooperate with Suzuka, his racing style was also not yet refined as well. Silent Suzuka had an odd racing style where he'd advance to the front of the pack, only to lose steam and fall behind as the race continued. Following the string of defeats, Kawachi would be replaced by Yutaka Take.
It's Take. It's Yutaka Take. I thought Yutaka Take was racing special week. That's why he wasn't racing. But to be fair, up until now, Suzuka was not winning, right? Like, if you're not winning, I don't know, you don't really have the sway to get Yutaka Take, no? Like, why would he race you? Why would he race on your horse? So it was like, he was a very fast horse that showed promise, but because he never listened to his jockey, he never won. I see.
The jockey who, for all but one future race, would be by Suzuka's side as his racing career continued into 1998. This would be the point where Suzuka would go from an average racehorse to one of the greatest horses to ever emerge from Japan. In the anime, Silent Suzuka changes teams from Team Riel to Team Spica, a nod to the exchange of jockeys Suzuka would experience in his real career. In the anime, it is stated that Suzuka disobeyed orders by ignoring her instructions to conserve energy, causing a rift between the trainer and Uma. Another parallel between the anime and real-life events are the circumstances leading up to Suzuka's transfer. The jockeys previous to Take, reflected in Team Riel, would not understand how to fully harmonize with Silent Suzuka, leaving untapped potential yet to be seen. Suzuka's transfer to Yutaka Take, reflected in her transfer to Team Spica, would showcase the true potential that Silent Suzuka had, and the perseverance to bring out the absolute best of his racing capabilities.
So Suzuka is actually just a Yutaka Take stan. He hated his previous jockeys and ignored them. But as soon as Yutaka Take raced, he was like, okay, this one. I see. This is a horse of culture. Knows what he likes. Only wants to be ridden by the best.
Season 1 of Uma-Musume highlights Suzuka's dominating maiden debut and the final 2 races of his career, these being the Mainichi Okan and the Autumn Tenno show in 1998. In addition to these 2 highlighted races, 1998 would prove to be a dominating year for Silent Suzuka.
Like he
in the 5
suddenly started winning.
races Suzuka participated in,
so
he placed first in every single one.
What?
Not only this, but in addition to these dominating victories,
Look at this. That's crazy. He was like as low as what, like 15th or something previously, and like never listened to his jockeys, and then immediately a win streak. Immediate difference. Jesus, she just really hated his previous jockeys.
2 would be record-setting times. Suzuka's win streak in 1998 would also lead to a surge of interest in Japanese horse racing overall. The period in which Suzuka raced would be dubbed as the golden age for race horses, with Suzuka being a major driving factor in revitalizing the popularity of the sport. Suzuka wasn't only winning races, but doing so by a wide margin against his competitors. This would earn Suzuka the title of being the runaway from another dimension, and on May 30th, 1998, that title would prove fitting for Silent Suzuka. At this point, Suzuka remained as an undefeated racehorse for 3 consecutive races in a row, these being the Valentine Stakes, Nakayama Kinen, and the Kokura Daishin, where Suzuka would set a record time. Popularity for Suzuka had already skyrocketed, resulting in high favor for Suzuka to win the upcoming G2 race. Despite Suzuka's popularity, the pool of horses he'd compete against were a very strong roster in their own regard. Suzuka will be put against multiple racehorses with winning streaks of their own, most notably Taiki Eldorado and Midnight Bet.
Wait, I've never heard of either of them. What? Yeah, I love how it was like the anime. It was like, oh, I know all those races, like racehorses, and then it's like, most notably, 2 horses I've never heard of. Oh?
Context: the Kinko show, the race Suzuka would participate in, had a record time of 2 minutes 1.4 seconds. This meant that in order to ensure victory, Suzuka would need to at least cross the finish line by the 2-minute mark. No one would expect just how much lower Suzuka would set this time. Suzuka's running style is a gamble in itself, a risky method that has a horse sprint at full speed right out of the gate. Utilization of this technique, dubbed as the runaway method, were used by horses who either disliked physical fights or had a strong desire to run ahead of the pack. For Silent Suzuka,
the view from the
his
top
reason
is mine.
would be the latter. Despite the risky method, Suzuka remained at the front of the pack by a large margin. This race will result in Suzuka's final time being 1 minute and 57 seconds, with Midnight Bet, the second place recipient, clocking in a time of 1 minute and 59 seconds. Silent Suzuka has set a dominating record time, beating Bet by
the second place still beat the record. But by a lot, but it was just not even close. That's no. The second place still beat the record by like 2 seconds. But Suzuka like absolutely obliterated the clock
by distance, with the official documentation stating by 11 horse lengths.
Oh look. Okay, so second place was Midnight Bet USA. Third is Taiki Eldorado USA. Fourth is Team Rashi. Is there a lot of TMO named horses? There's just a whole bunch?
This victory would solidify Suzuka's 4th consecutive win in 1998. On July 12th of the same year, Suzuka would compete in the Takarazuka Kinen, a G1 race that would truly test Suzuka's fighting spirit. Up until this point in his career, Suzuka had yet to claim a victory in a G1 competition, with the previous 4 victories being either G2 or G3 races. This race would also prove difficult due to Take being unable to jockey Suzuka. Originally, due to the distance of the Takarazuka Kinen, Silent Suzuka's handler would opt to not race him and instead plan to set the goal of winning the Autumn Tenno show later on in the year. Due to this, Take would instead jockey Air Groove for the Takarazuka Kinen.
Air Groove?
This was the plan, until by sudden request of Suzuka's owner, he was suddenly registered for the G1 race. Due to the short time between registration and the race day, Suzuka was paired with Katsumi Minai. Worry quickly circulated due to Suzuka's history of previous handlers, and if he'd be able to squeeze a victory with Katsumi as his jockey. Luckily for Suzuka, Katsumi was a well-seasoned jockey who had worked with multiple famous racehorses, most notably Tamamo Cross and Oguri Cap.
Ooh.
Even with a new jockey, Suzuka would manage to claim a victory for his 5th consecutive race in a row.
Yeah, so Oguri and Tamamo were around this time, or were they previous to this?
Katsumi had later recounted that it was as if the horse ran on his own. The harmonization between jockey and racehorse was clearly present, and Katsumi highly rated Suzuka's overall capabilities on the racetrack. By this point, Suzuka was able to control his pace much more effectively, reducing the probability of running out of stamina mid-race. Suzuka would instead sprint at high speed right out of the gate, slow down and regain stamina midway through, and spurt on the final straight. With this being the final G1 victory for Katsumi Minai, he retired shortly after the Takarazuka Kinen, aiding Suzuka to maintain his chain of first place finishes.
I like how they just kind of make Suzuka just like a really hyper-focused character who doesn't understand like you're supposed to be smart on the track, you know?
Are you enjoying the video? Hi, I'm Meimi, and this is Hattie. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to my main channel. These clips are from live streams I do every week. Thank you!
She doesn't understand what technique is. She's just like, I just keep running, no? I was like, oh, you want me to like slow down a little? Okay, I'll slow down a little bit. And then I'll keep running again, right? That's the most they ever got her to do. That's crazy.
Following the Takarazuka Kinen, Suzuka would participate in the Mainichi Crown. As stated previously, a race that was showcased in Uma-Musume Season 1. Silent Suzuka will be put once more against a set of strong competitors. In this race, most notably, Grass Wonder and El Condor Pasa. This race was broadcasted to over 130,000 people, despite it being a G2 race. As personified in the anime, Silent Suzuka would once more show clear domination in this race, beating both Grass Wonder and El Condor Pasa by a decent margin. In post-interviews held with Pasa's jockey, he would state that it was as if he couldn't even step on Suzuka's shadow, showcasing the sheer strength that Suzuka had to maintain a lead over strong competitors. This victory would mark Suzuka's 6th consecutive win in 1998, but would have much deeper meaning to Japanese horse racing. At the time, there was an order in place to protect Japan's domestic horse racing industry. A rule had been established preventing foreign imported horses from participating in G1 races. This was to avoid the now common practice of purchasing overseas horses for a cheap price that displayed strong pedigrees and racing potential. Both El Condor Pasa and Grass Wonder were product of this practice. The fear was present that with an influx of foreign horses, the reputation of Japanese ranches would plummet, as well as the training method.
Okay, but guys, I'm just like, I understand there's like a lot, you know, history here and whatnot, and I get it, but like there's an embargo on foreign horses. We were like a tariffing horses here. we can't have those darn gaijin horses polluting our natural homebred horses. We gotta think of the Japanese horse industry. Okay, it's okay, it's fine. I get it. I mean, like, if you think about it, if we talk about like American teams for Olympics, right? A lot of them have foreign competitors too. Like all the American table tennis teams, for example, are all Chinese.
Is native to the Japanese people. Silent Suzuka would shatter these notions with his dominating victory at the Mainichi Okan, proving once more that horses born and raised in Japan could very well be fierce competitors in their own regard. This victory would serve as an opportunity to lift the ban on foreign horses participating in G1 races. Silent Suzuka's career was at an all-time high, but unfortunately, this would be where his luck would run out. With a staggering growth in popularity and thousands of adoring fans, Silent Suzuka will participate in the Autumn 10 No Show. Suzuka had previously participated in the Autumn 10 No Show a year prior. However, he had an unremarkable placement, finishing 6th overall. This time, Yutaka Take and Suzuka went into the race with high spirits, ready to show the audience yet another dominating victory. This would mark Suzuka's 7th consecutive win overall if he were to place first in this race. At the start of the race, as the anime and real footage showcased, Suzuka wasn't only in the lead, but was in the lead by an incredibly large margin. The JRA race footage shows that Suzuka was so far in front of the pack that even a wide shot of all the competitors could barely capture Suzuka's staggering lead.
Oh no.
This was met with cheers for Suzuka to set yet another dominant victory once more. However, as Suzuka continued to run, everything suddenly changed.
No!
Suzuka began to decelerate,
Oh no.
slowly grinding to a halt as his competitors passed him.
This is
In the anime, Suzuka also
accident,
runs
right?
irregularly, as if she lost her balance and tempo. Mid-race, Suzuka had fractured his left front leg, rendering him unable to finish the race. An injury mid-race can be dangerous for both the horse and their jockey. An example of this would be Rice Shower's mid-fracture causing his jockey,
don't mention
Matoba,
Rice
to
Shower
sustain
too!
injury with the fall. Suzuka, despite being injured, didn't topple and fall, but instead, as Take describes, it was as if Suzuka had attempted to protect him, trying all he could to not cause Take injury with a high-speed tumble. Race records for Suzuka show that he did not finish this race, and instead was transported off the racetrack for further examination. Later analysis of this footage revealed that this injury could have been avoided. It seemed as though Suzuka had run faster than his body could handle, and the repeated stress on his leg finally gave way. In the anime, we see Silent Suzuka begin to recover from these injuries and eventually return to the track once again. But this is all to pay respect to Silent Suzuka's legacy. It's common belief that horses will rebel and buckle if they feel threatened, or accelerate irregularly if their jockeys can't control them. This, however, was not the case for Suzuka. Take and Suzuka had an extensive history together, and encountered little to no conflict when on the race course.
Suzuka really
Even recounts
is
from
the
Take
Take
revealed
fan
that
of all
Suzuka didn't
time.
show any signs of irregularity in behavior. He just accelerated on his own. This led many to believe that Suzuka simply wanted to see how fast he could go, which, once more, is clearly personified in Uma Musume. Unfortunately, at the age of 4 years old, Silent Suzuka, due to his injury in the Autumn 10 no-show, would be euthanized, ending a career with an undefeated year of racing. Unsurprisingly, this event came as a major shock to fans of Japanese horse racing. A Fuji TV announcer's phrase,
imagine your Oshi graduates, but like from life, that's so painful.
"The Sunday of Silence," would become the symbol of this tragedy.
Silence.
The Autumn 10
like at the
no-show
dad.
would take place on November 1st, 1998, which fell on a Sunday. This phrase, "the Sunday of Silence," would pay respects to the day of Suzuka's passing, and also the legacy that he came from, being an offspring of Sunday silence.
See, Silent Suzuka is literally the biggest Yutaka Take simp of all times. Protected him until the very end. That's like really crazy because the Rice Shower, even Rice Shower fell over, no? Like wasn't able to keep going. Oh.
To many, Suzuka's abrupt death was one of the biggest what-ifs in horse racing history. Suzuka had finally found a style which suited him, a jockey who he trusted dearly, and had gained the adoration of thousands. All these achievements alongside the prospect of even more wins snuffed out in an instant. Uma Musume did a great job
Dying
of
at the
showcasing
peak.
Suzuka's legacy in the anime. As mentioned earlier, instead of simply writing Suzuka out of the series, she instead remains a motivator for Special Week and the rest of Team Spica. Uma Musume tends to shy away from creating scenarios that didn't occur in real-life records, but instead aim to honor the legacy that was left behind by racehorses who met an abrupt end. Silent Suzuka and Rice Shower are both examples of this. Although they still exist in the series, their stories have ended long ago. A touching legacy hidden in the anime is Special Week and Suzuka's friendship. This is a nod to Take's following race in the Autumn 10 no-show, where alongside Special Week, Take would bring home a first-place finish a year after Suzuka's tragic incident. A touching legacy displayed by a tight bond that these two Umas share while training in Tracen Academy.
So he didn't manage to win with Suzuka, but a year later he ran the same race with Special Week. So that's how they were connected.
Suzuka's legacy is also highlighted
That's
in
so
Uma Musume
sad.
Pretty Derby, where the final race in her career before the Ura finale is the
Yutaka
Autumn Tenno
also
show,
really loves Suzuka,
giving players a chance to allow her to finish a race that she never would. The impact of Suzuka's death hit people incredibly hard. A recount from Junko Hosoe, a race commentator who also appears in Uma Musume, states that people flooded the phone lines of the JRA Tokyo racecourse, all inquiring if Suzuka was okay. Amazingly, the JRA did not turn these callers away. The internet wasn't as widespread at this time, so instead, the JRA spent the entire day relaying Suzuka's situation to concerned fans, urging them to pray for Suzuka's swift recovery. Suzuka's passing also led to the creation of memorials and even a dedicated song to honor him.
A song?
This song is entitled Tenma no Yoni, like a Pegasus. Today, fans of Suzuka can visit the Yugioh racecourse to honor and pay respects to his legacy, a racehorse who redefined Japanese horse racing and left behind a string of triumphant victories, personified in Uma Musume by a diligent Uma with a deep compassion for her friends and a drive to always give it her all. This was the story of Silent Suzuka, a career which ended abruptly, but would leave behind a legacy that would inspire future generations to come.
Oh man, Suzuka could have been the main character. Suzuka didn't run into all this hardship. Oh, poor Suzuka. Wait, I'm gonna look up the song now. I'm gonna look up the Tenma no Yoni Silent Suzuka Memorial Song. There's no translation here, actually. Here. This is super Japanese era. That's very nice though. Oh, I didn't expect his pipes there. It looks like wow. This is like a... I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like an idol graduation song. Except he graduated from life. It's a memorial song, but it's cute. This horse with so many people's oshis. Like, so it was a very big, heartbreaking moment in history. Enough so that they started the practice of horse memorials. You know? So I guess Rice Shower was after this, because Rice Shower also got a memorial that like people could send flowers and commemorate. That's very sweet and like respectful to their legacy. This is the samurai anime episode, which probably is just gonna summarize the same thing, to be honest. I feel like the first video is very comprehensive. Bracket 1, horse number 1. Tragedy happened on days when many ones occur. Is that a thing? I thought 4 was unlucky. I don't know about ones.
外を通りましてステイゴールドあたり2コーナーのカーブへと入っていきました。 早くも8馬身ぐらいの差をつけてサイレン鈴鹿と竹豊が行く。これだけ引いても後ろが見えない。2番手ようやく見えてきた。7番のサイレン
The wide view couldn't even capture it.
2番手その後ろも6馬身から7馬身。6番のオフサイドトラップステイゴールドがつけている。メジロブライトこの位置 TMO ランニングゲイル外を通りましてグルメフロンティア内からシルクジャスティスゼッケン8番サンライズフラッグそして5番のゴーイングスカが続いています。かなり縦長の展開。まもなく3コーナーの手前 1000m の標識は果たしてどのぐらいで通過していく。今通過57秒台で過ぎていった。
You know,
飛ばしに飛ばしてサイレン鈴鹿竹豊
Suzuka's
まだその後ろ
style
2番手でサイレントハンターが続いている。
really stood out.
大丈夫なのか捕まえることはできるのか。大欅の向こうを過ぎていきました。サイレン鈴鹿予定通りのにちょっとここで手応えがどうなんだ。さあここで抑える
It's
よう
slowing
な
down. Oh no!
サイレン鈴鹿に故障発生です。なんということだ。4コーナーを迎えることなくレースを終えた竹豊沈黙の日曜日。
They mentioned that the Silent Sunday right in the commentary.
どうやら右後ろということになるんでしょうかね。
The anime has specially come save her.
サイレン鈴鹿の連勝は7に伸びることはありませんでした。
Take-san. He said it's hard to find a horse that doesn't fall at the top speed with such a fracture. I wonder if he protected me. I still remember Silent Suzuka very well. I wanted to run at least a few hundred meters more. That's so sad. I'm very sorry. I'm so disappointed. It's really just if they hadn't pushed themselves too much, they would have won. It's like in the Olympics, when the people in front of you fall and you win. It feels very much like you won by luck. You didn't win. The first place winner lost. Yeah, then they took the calls and told them to pray. It's nice that they actually represented the original commentator, Osoe-san. A horse race with everyone's true sadness and everyone's support. Marika Kono said in tears, I learned from the information that Silent Suzuka ran to the end so as not to drop Take-san. I wonder if Silent Suzuka was a very kind horse. Unlike Gold Ship, which would have kicked off their jockey immediately. When I heard Take-san snuggling up to Silent Suzuka, I wonder if Silent Suzuka also took good care of him. I mean, she chose him. He chose him as like their jockey of all jockeys. Out of all the jockeys, they wouldn't even give like a third place win to. When a horse was injured at that speed, I think there's a real danger that the horse would collapse and fall. Dude, I would collapse and fall. If I broke my leg, goodbye. That's exactly what Silent Suzuka did not drop Take-san on 3 legs, and they did not suffer a secondary disaster caused by the falling horses. Yeah, if they had fallen, it's also like it would have been hard for the other horses. On his funeral day, many fans gathered at the ranch, and even after his death, some fans came to visit the grave with flowers and his favorite banana. Aww. I like bananas. Called the fastest functional beauty, is still a famous horse to be talked about. I think it's really like, it's not just Suzuka's speed. I think it's some Silent Suzuka's style that makes them stand out so much. Right? Like, the fact that they just absolutely dominated from the very get-go is really flashy and memorable. A lot of the other horses are really fast and strong too. But wouldn't you, if you saw a horse that was just blowing everyone out of the water from start to end, I think you would end up also being like inspired and want to support that horse too, right? Like, rather than just the close fights, I think it would be very easy to be impressed by such a fast horse with such a very different style. Aww. That was Suzuka. Oh man, there's all these horses. All these horses that didn't meet a good end.